Good morning to you, our audience. Ted and Ed TV channel welcome each of you to our weekly Saturday broadcast where we give insightful views on economic, political, world, and environmental issues concerning how money connects those matters. Our hosts, Mr. Ted Harvey Sr. and Mr. Edward Bishop III, are now taking each of you into our world of money and its value, along with the evils that come from the greed of hoarding financial power. He that controls the gold controls the important decisions in this world.
Two pedophiles are going to be on the Supreme Court. That is our topic for today, and that's all I'm going to talk about. You knucklehead got two of them, Clarence Thomas and Kavanaugh. They've thrown our justice system so far back, man. It's a crying shame. So,
think about this though, Ed. Seriously, when you say pedophiles, when you think about it, why would they over 12,000 children took them from their mothers and their fathers, and now they're sitting in some, really they call it it's a concentration camp. That's what it is. And it's already been reported that some of those kids are being molested. Something is going on, man. I don't know what's going on. They got some kind of ring or something. I mean, this is just my opinion. I'm just saying something is going on. This is crazy. And then where's the uproar? Where, like you got people protesting, but you don't see the TV people covering it. And then you got this Catholic thing going on, they pedophile. So is this, what is this thing about little girls and little boys? I don't understand it. I just don't. Grown men. And now you got women doing the same thing. And all these teachers, like almost every other month, is some teacher being caught messing with some little 14, 15-year-old boy. Is this some kind of ritual or something? We're gonna have to research this because
it's when you got people who are supposed to be on top, you got a image that they portray out there, and their image is immorality, and that's what you have. You have immoral leaders, then you're going to have an immoral society. You can't pass it up. If your leaders are immoral and they believe in immoral stuff and they perpetrate immorality, then that's what you're going to have, all the way down. Your leader is screwed up and everything down below it is screwed up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where it is. It's all screwed up. I have no idea how this stuff going to be able to get through here, but I don't know, man. It's something that we as a country are going to have to get over, and it's going to have to start from somewhere. And where it's going to start from, I have no idea, because if it continues along this path, it is not going to be good. It's not going to be good for our children.
That's absolutely right, because if you think about it, okay, I'm talking about I wouldn't call them petty crooks, but they're not big time, like they're not robbing everybody like these big billionaires and millionaires. They taking money all kinds of ways from the government and robbing people, overcharging them and all this kind of stuff. But you got these lower criminals. They say, hey, the president is doing it, why not me? And then they just double their efforts. You know what I'm saying? It's just like,
it's okay. It's okay for him to do it because there is no law, there's no order. It's okay for him to do this, for him. And it's out there, right there in their view. And they're looking at this stuff every day. It's okay for him to be immoral. It's okay for him to cheat. It's okay for him to do whatever he wants to do. And there's nobody out there who is going to stand up for what is right. I don't care who they are. They perpetrate right, but it's, what they consider right and everything is it's a veil of misunderstanding and everything. And they're telling you, well, we're going to do this, and they're really not. They're not doing anything at all. They just throwing up a smoke screen so people can look at it and say, oh, we did this, so everything is all right. No, it's not all right. It's not.
We know for sure that Kavanaugh lied a whole lot of times while he was doing that confirmation. And they know when that's supposed to be acted upon and said that you are disqualified. But yet and still, they bypassed all of that. Then the man was accused of certain other things. So I'm telling you, man, it's going to be some cases coming up that's going to have to be regarding going to meet the Supreme Court decisions. And
like we said, like I said to you, Ted, and that was on my only salvation here, the only salvation for our viewers, people who are going to be looking at this recorded version and stuff of what we're doing. And that salvation is that we're going to have to do a better job in making sure that the people that we put in office and we elect are going to have some sort of morality and stuff, and try some kind of way to correct this, because the Supreme Court can't do anything that the legislative and the executive branch do not allow them to do. The justice system and stuff is like one arm, and you have to take care. If you got the legislative and the executive branch and stuff, you can offset that old mess that's going on there in the Supreme Court, because they can't stop you from doing anything. If the legislative branch say, hey, here's what we're going to do, we're going to put it in, and they can say it's illegal or whatever they want to say. But if you got 2/3 of your legislative branch saying, no, that's not right, this is what we're going to do, the Justice Department can't do anything. Mm-hmm. And we are seeing that because we looked at our law enforcement agency and stuff, the FBI and all the other people and everything, and we see right then that the FBI agency was being used and stuff. The executive branch used the FBI to do what they wanted to do to get this man into office.
Yeah,
and the FBI allowed this to happen. Yeah. So the executive branch told the FBI what they wanted to happen. That's what they had. That's what happened. So nothing we can do about that. Let's keep on going. 30 days from now, it's October the 6th, my wife's birthday. 30 days.
Okay.
she made a milestone here, and we got a milestone going on. So when I see her today and I take her, we have dinner together and stuff, I'm gonna tell her, say, hey, this is your day. You caused this. You caused this mess to happen, because she beat me up in 2016, November the 9th, 2016. You know what happened that day?
November the 9th, 2016. Yeah.
Right. You remember what happened that day?
Did somebody get elected?
Yeah, they're damn right. Trump got elected that day. My birthday. Man, I was sick. Ooh, it hurt me on my birthday. Why they got to do this on my birthday? They could have did it 2 days before, 2 days after. It didn't matter, but it was on my birthday. I was sick that day. I was supposed to be a happy day, but I was sick.
Yeah, I was.
Ah, man. But we have to get over this in some kind of way. We're going to get over this. We're going to get through this.
This is kind of way. Let me tell you, this is a game. I'm going to put my 2 cents in on this here. Unemployment right now, according to all the government statistics, and 3.7%. That's almost 50-year low. That's when we can just walk in a job and walk out of a job if we didn't like it. We had all kind of factory jobs, 40, 50 years ago. And now it's really not like that. It might be right now. They got like 3 million, something like 3 million jobs right now that's not even filled because of the technology and the skill that you got to have. So, okay, the unemployment is low, but then we have a lot of people that's retired, semi-retired, working part-time or working under the table or what have you. So the workforce is not really there. And the reason why the workforce is not really there, because they are not doing what they're supposed to be doing in the schools. Now, this is just my own opinion. So if that, the reason why I say that is because it's obvious. Because if they were doing things correctly in schools, they would be doing everything they could to buoy up the public school system so that people can be job ready right out of high school to filling these positions. Right now in Hillsborough County, they have 3 career centers that's supposed to train plumbers, cosmetology people, electricians, computer science, and all that. They have 3 career centers. Those 3 career centers right now are cutting back on all of these vocational educational systems, closing them down. Now, everybody's not right for college. Everybody don't want to go to college. And so why not give these people skills that are, so they'll be job ready when they get out of high school and on the job training while they're in high school. But for some reason, it's almost like it costs them what, $50,000 a year to house one prisoner? They'd rather spend the money on prisons than education. Just because they can't deal with our culture. And behavior is important, I understand that. However, if a person walks in school and they have braids on and they kick them out of school, or they don't like him or think he's a troublemaker, or if a person is wearing a certain kind of, dressed a certain kind of way, they don't like him. I remember when I first came to our little high school, St. Anne, I used to dress with baggy pants and baggy dress pants. These were dress pants, baggy dress pants with cuffs on them, Stacey Adams, and I used to have a long collar and all that. And they didn't like that. They didn't like the way I dressed. But that's the way I dressed. And I had the long collar and all of that. And so people do not, they want to copy your culture and they want to live your culture, but they don't want to see you be creative and have your own culture. If you ever notice that the style and fashion of Black people is, most of that stuff comes from us. They just copy it. They just copy it. A lot of that stuff. So they look at it just because you want to be different or dress different, wear your hairstyle different, and you're not the same. Because a lot of people want, like what I found out, a lot of people want to be individuals. They don't want to be like robots. Everybody got the same blue jeans on. Everybody got the same T-shirt or dress shirt on. I remember going through high school, all these little white boys used to have their little pinstripe shirts on and their little button-down shirts and their little tight jeans on and all that stuff. And they all dressed alike with their little loafers. And they all dressed alike. But you come in there and you dress different, you get ostracized, or they think you got an attitude or whatever. So conformity is a big, big deal, and it hurts a lot of Black people if you don't conform to their way of life. And I think that's the big thing. It causes a rift because people want to be individual. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm looking at. Because if you look in the business world, the corporate world, I had to change my whole look, in order to move up in the corporate world. I had to buy tailor-made suits. I had to wear real nice, expensive ties. I had cufflink shirts, and I had very expensive shoes. That gave me the end to knock on doors, and people accepted me. And I made sure my hair was cut low, unshaven. You have to conform if you want to make it into the corporate world. You can't come in there with your own style, and because you're going in there looking for a job, that means you got to conform. And if you don't want to conform, then you're going to have to create your own job, and then hopefully you get some clients and businesses, and with tattoos or pants hanging down on you or whatever, and that's your culture. That's your style. That's fine. But I'm taking it from one thing because it all boils down to culture. Our music, same thing. Part of our culture. And a lot of times, even myself, I right now, man, I can barely listen to rap. But that's part of our culture. Because rap has some jazz, and it has a lot of rhythm and blues in it, and what have you. And some of it I like, and some of it I don't. But the point is that a lot of people want to take different parts of different segments of music, and they want to take it to another level. And that's creativity. And I don't, because I know that rap have gotten better in a lot of ways and has gotten worse in some ways. But for the most part, it's our culture because we're always evolving and creating things. A lot of, and this is just my opinion, a lot of black people don't want to be a cookie cutter. They don't want to be a cookie cutter, man. And I have accepted that. Everywhere I go, black people are different. Each individual is different. They are not cookie cutters. That's a fact.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
You done?
That's the problem. That's the problem. I mean, I'm just serious. That's the problem. And we.
Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay. All while you were talking, now I shut my mouth and I didn't say a word. I wrote down. I was sitting here with my head up. I was thinking and stuff and what you were saying, and I was listening to you, intently listening to you. And I got all my little notes down here what you were talking about. I'm gonna start at the top. First thing you talked about, unemployment, 3.7%. In 1990s, all the way up to probably 2007, ain't even 8, 3.7 unemployment. Your populace was in your corner. They said, and the politicians could stand on it. Whoever charging stuff at that time, if you got unemployment at 3.7% back in those days, everybody was happy. We're going to keep this man or woman or whoever it is in office. Today, you say the unemployment rate is at 3.7%, and they're going to look at you and say, something is wrong with you. Something is wrong with you. It's 3.7%, but you've got 60 to 70% of your population who's not happy.
That's right.
And why aren't they happy? They're not happy because at 3.7% unemployment, whatever it is, they still making $7, $8 an hour.
That's right.
80% of them are making that. There is no way that they can make a living with $8 or $9 an hour. And in today's economy, that's not good. So you don't find politicians and stuff sitting down there talking about, well, the unemployment rate is 3.7%, and that's a good thing. because their populace is not going to believe that. They cannot get elected with that. We had a tax cut 11 months ago, and everybody should be happy because they got a tax cut. They're not. These Republicans cannot stand on that. You don't hear them talking about their unemployment at 3.7. You don't hear them talking about a tax cut because they know that is just like throwing gasoline on a fire. Okay. My next thing. We cannot progress by looking at what somebody else has done and what else they're doing. And the reason why I'm saying that is that about 4 or 5 years ago, everybody knew that the population shift was getting ready to move over. And right now, at this point in time, over 50-some% of the people in this country are of color.
Yes.
And your Caucasian folks and stuff are losing out quickly.
Yep.
So in essence and stuff, we can't continue to blame them for what is going on and stuff here. We have to, it is our time now to take charge and say, this is what we are going to do. So all these things that have been going on is because if you start losing power, you're going to do all kinds of stuff and everything to hold the majority back. And we saw that back in the 90s and stuff over in South Africa. You had a small majority in that country that was holding 80% of their country back. They were in charge and they allowed them to happen. But right now, you look into South Africa, those people of color have taken over. The white folks are sitting back there and everything and getting whatever little crumbs that the populace and stuff is throwing back to Adam. They still okay, but they understand that these black folks are in charge. Okay, so we have to deal with this and stuff in a way that that's going to be into our favor. They've already done something and stuff right now. They're taking it and they're stacking their Supreme Court up. They're stacking up the legislators and stuff so they can be able to hold on by their fingernails to power. We can't keep doing that if we don't get ourselves together. And by getting ourselves together, we have to create a solution instead of something that we sit down there and constantly blame these folks and everything and stuff for. We have, as a population, have control over our school systems. You elect people to the school board, they're going to do what you want to do if you stay on top of them. You elect people to your local offices, they're going to do what you want them to do. And we have the power now to do that. It is there in our hands. Take it, and we can deal with what the heck happened today with putting this man on the Supreme Court. Because if you got a majority out there and everything who can outvote him, you're going to be back in power again. You're going to take his power away from him, cut his power off. That's what you have to do. That's our solution. Take control of what's going on. Now, you spoke about dress. You got to wear a suit. We got to wear a tie. We got to present ourselves and stuff in a manner that is against our tradition and what we're about. I don't see anything wrong with that. I'm going to dress for the occasion. I'm going to dress like I am a man of stature. Put me a suit and tie on if it takes it and have to do it. And I can go back home after I've made my money and I can sit there at my house and dress any way I want. I can come out and walk to the store and spend my money that I've gained out there by wearing a suit and tie. And I can walk to the store with my beach shoes on and my shorts on, my raggedy hole pants on and everything, and be happy because I went out there and I earned my money. Now I can come back and do what the heck I want to do. And you know that, Ted, because we have done this and stuff our whole lives and stuff. We know that you have to go out there and work so your child can eat.
That's right. You had to dress for that.
You did that because if you didn't do that, your family could not eat.
That's right.
They couldn't have a roof over their head. So there's nothing wrong with doing that. Now, you get one other thing that you talked about. Music, rap music. Man, ooh. Our people have become multi-millionaires because of rap music. They're making untold amounts of money because of rap music. So it's nothing wrong if they dealing with rap music. You have to look at that positive and stuff that came from rap music. Yeah, I don't like rap music. I don't even want to hear all that loud music, but somebody does, and they are paying big money to do that. Big money. They've created, man, a society of millionaires who can live in these big, fabulous homes or whatever, drive bad cars, wear what they want to wear, be out there talking about so-and-so and so-and-so and all this other stuff. Yeah, they're doing all that. They're doing that to make money. Let them make the money. They got there, they advertising this, they advertising that. Let them do that. It is creating something positive for us. It's maybe, everybody I don't like rap music, everybody don't like it. But it is done something positive and stuff for our community. And most of those people who are getting rich like that are Black folks. You talking Jay-Z, Beyonce, you can go down the line, all of them making big money.
I agree.
Doing what they have to do, and that's okay. I don't. That is their thing, and that's what they want to do. We have more Black millionaires and billionaires than we've ever had. They got a lot of money that they control. The only thing we have to do is continue along that path and don't allow them little blips and everything to take control of us. Something happened here. Yep, it's bad, but we can't dwell on it. We got to get it out of our mind and keep on going. And this thing with Kavanaugh is going to get out of my mind, and I'm going to keep on going because I'm going to figure out a way how to deal with it. I'm going to be sad for a little bit, but I'm going to get up, buddy. I'm going to get up. I'm going to get up and stand up, and I'm going to do what I know needs to be done. And that's getting out there, telling my folks to get out there and vote, telling these women to get out there and vote. You see what that man has done. You see what these people have done to you. You better get out there and vote and get them out of office.
That's right.
Make them hurt for what they did. Make them hurt. Make them pay for what they did. They're going to have to pay a price for what happened. And that price means they got to go back home and get out of that ivory tower. And we're going to put somebody else up there that we know they're going to be able to look out for us. Okay. And if they don't look out for us, we get them out and let them know it and stay on the case. Don't be like our people, man. We get around there, Ted, and you talk about these schools and stuff and these trade schools there in Tampa. They're gonna rise up. Yeah. We need this and stuff. And then tomorrow, you're gonna hear a peep out of them.
Yep.
You can't change nothing unless you continue to get up on top of it and stay on it.
You got to stay engaged because
stay engaged.
One thing
we don't do that. Look, our Black Lives Matter. Where they at? I don't hear about them no more.
Yeah.
I do know that a year or two ago, somebody gave them $25 or $50 million. Oh, we're gonna give these people all this money. We ain't heard from them no more since then.
Nope.
I ain't heard nothing from them. They ain't been out there on the street saying nothing. Somebody done paid them off.
Done something.
Something happened.
Yeah.
So we have to stay engaged and stuff, and we got to continue to stay engaged. That's why you and I started this thing right here, and we're gonna stay engaged. Ain't gonna stop. There's some bumps out there for us, Ted. I'm telling you, there's bumps out there. But we ain't gonna let them valleys and stuff stop us from doing something. Just like today, we had something that happened. We couldn't get online for a while. We got to stay engaged.
You got to stay engaged.
You got to stay engaged, man. We can't stop. We can't
that's
stop
the whole,
because if we stop, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Eventually, something's going to happen. It's going to break and everything. We're going to be okay. We ain't going. Then they're going to eliminate a lot of them valleys that we've been going through.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't got a lot of money. I don't. You don't.
Yeah.
We're going to do our best to put us a product out there that people are going to like.
Yeah. Well,
whatever it takes.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm done now. I got off my box. You get on yours.
Okay. Well, no, I don't have a box, but I'm just saying is we just really do have to, and I'm sort of kind of piggybacking on what you're saying, because staying engaged, that takes discipline, man. I mean, you got to really have, it's just like, when we played basketball, we had to go to practice every day. Every day. We had to practice 2 hours every day. No matter what. You don't come to practice, what's going to happen? Coach going to be upset. You might be sitting the bench, or
you ain't going to start.
Play.
You ain't going to start on Friday and Saturday.
Right. So
start on Friday and Saturday.
You have to be consistent. You have to be persistent. You have to be out there. And then when you're out there in practice, you're going to have to play hard to keep your job. So because somebody else wanted, they're sitting on that bench. So the point is that then you got to win, and if you don't win, the coach gonna say, well, you ain't playing hard enough, you ain't good enough. We're gonna put somebody else in your place. So you gotta. It's competition. People that are out there that are trying to stop your progress, they're trying to enlighten their progress. They want to move up. They want more. They want more. They want more. So therefore, they're going to keep you down. So when those funds come in from the government, the federal government, from the state or whatever, those funds, those people got their hands out and they want, hey, we need this, we need that in our community. And that's what we have. That's what have to stay engaged is about. You have to consistently. You might be tired when you get off of work and you say, but I got to go down here to this meeting. I got to go. They having a commissioners meeting. I'm going down to this meeting. They got a school board meeting. I'm going down to this meeting. And you grab up 4, 5, 10 people to go with you. Forget them card games and forget about going to this place and that place and going to the local bar or whatever. You have to stay engaged because it's not just for you. It's for your children and it's for your neighborhood. Because if you don't, because see, like I said, Ed, you live in the suburbs. I live in the suburbs, basically. Mm-hmm. And so therefore, everything is pretty much taken care of. But when you are in the inner city, and I lived in the inner city for many, 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 many years. And I'm going to tell you, it ain't the same. They don't take care of you, bro. I'm telling you, the money is not flowing. They don't take care of the streets. The protection is not there. All kinds of stuff that's going on there. So the point is, all I'm saying is stay engaged. Those people that's got the power, try to get people that that want to be in power, that's going to treat your neighborhood or community correct, put them in office. Don't sit up there and complain to the man.
And do your job, take care of what you have control over. You got control over certain things. You can't control what another person and stuff does. You can only control yourself.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's easy, man, to just sit back and say, well, I ain't going to go out there today and deal with this stuff. Well, every day that you don't go out there and deal with it, something else is going to happen that's going to create you more problems.
Yeah.
And I tell my wife and all my children every day, until they pat dirt in your face, you're going to have a struggle. There's going to be something going on that's going to create some problems and stuff for you. So you're going to have to rise up and figure out how to deal with this thing. We used to watch Ivani Van Zant, or whatever her name is, Oprah Winfrey's nemesis or whatever. And Oprah knocked her down for a little bit and everything, and she couldn't come back up. But girlfriend stayed out there on the case, and she finally came back up, and Oprah gave her respect for it. So now she got herself back into the mainstream and doing all kind of stuff, and she's got her own show now. Yeah, and she looked. These women, they come to her, my husband did this and he did that, and he slapped that woman in her face and said, stand up.
She slapped her.
Slapped in the face. Stand up. Taking this stuff and everything. Figure out a way how to do it. Let me see, right. Figure out a way how to do it. Quit complaining and figure out a way how to get out of your dilemma. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you're going to have to do that all the time. You're going to have to figure out a way how to get out of your dilemma, because I can't, and she said, I can't tell you how to do this. You got to do it yourself. Because if I tell you, you're not going to be able to do it, because you got somebody to blame for it if it don't turn out right. Blame me. Right. I didn't tell you. You figure out a way how to do it.
That's absolutely
what we have to do. And personally, we have to figure out a way how to deal with whatever comes at us every day.
Yeah, well, you know, I totally agree with that, because I was talking to my nephew, and he's having a rough time right now, and he's 30 years old. Don't have no kids, don't have no wife. He just take care of himself, and he lost his job. And he claims that he's homeless. I say, why are you homeless? And you got aunties and uncles all over the place. He said, well, I was staying with my uncle, you know, which is my brother. But he moved in with his girlfriend. So now I don't have no place to stay. I say, well, you know, you got relatives there, cousins and everybody else to set you up for a few days until you get yourself on your feet. You ain't got no business sleeping in your car. You understand? So I'm saying to myself, I said, I prayed with him. I told him, I gave him some scripture. I encouraged him. And I said, and then I gave him my story. And I'm going to give y'all just a little tidbits of my story. I got kicked out in I ain't going to give you the year, but anyway, it don't matter. When I got kicked out of an apartment that I used to have to get up in the morning in order to pay half rent in Chicago on 65th and Stewart. I had to pay half rent, because the reason why I paid half rent is 5 o'clock in the morning, I get up and that's when we use coal for heat. I got up and filled that furnace with coal before everybody woke up. And then I went to work at 6 o'clock. I had to go to work at 6 o'clock to be there at 7. And so downtown. And then in the evenings, before I went to bed, I had to stoke that bad fella again, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night. So one day, the lady who owned the apartment building, who was the landlord, told me that I need to get up a little earlier. And I said, okay. So it took time for me to adjust to get up at 4 o'clock. To make a long story short, her husband beat me down there every time, just when I'm getting down there. He said, well, he's an older guy. He's about 20 years older than her. You didn't get up here, so I went on and did it. I said, man, look, I say it's going to take me a time to adjust to get up from 5 o'clock to 4 o'clock, okay? So anyway, they end up firing me and kicking me out of the apartment.
That's their property.
Wait a minute. That's right. I didn't give them no back talk. Look here. I'll never forget it. And this is what I told my nephew. I said, because see, I've been believing in God and having faith with God no matter what. And this is what happened. I had scoped out the land, and I had already inquired about another place to stay, which cost me at that time $75 a week. And that was at the YMCA in Chicago, downtown, on the north side of Chicago. Because at the time I was going to night school right around, not too far from there. And I was working downtown in Chicago. So anyway, I'll never forget this. I didn't have a car at that time. I had 2 luggages and a bag full of clothes. That's all I had to my name. I had to walk from 65th to 63rd, catch the bus, and then got and trotted on there, and then caught the bus all the way down to Chicago Avenue and State Street in Chicago.
And the moral of the story is write your own story.
That's right. And the bottom line is you don't
write your own story. Now, I done told you mine.
You don't give up. You don't give up. You don't give up. And that's because somebody, I wouldn't say they mistreated me, because, hey, I enjoyed that, paying half of my rent, even though I had to get up early and stay up a little later, But the point is that it don't matter, that I had to deal with my thing. And then I ain't gonna tell you the rest of the story, how I got blessed and God just opened doors for me when I moved to the YMCA.
But
that's another thing.
This young man, just like all of our children and stuff, have to write their own story. And I tell my children, that's my story. You write yours, and you keep on. And every day you got to keep getting up. You can't lay down, because if you lay down, because if you look at it here, we know how Chicago is. We got the YMCA up there, right there on the little near north side. 15 blocks away with what you got. Skid Row. Skid Row is 15 blocks away. And now, then 15. You could have went back and laid down and rolled down on 15 blocks in Skid Row, but you take it up there, 15 blocks away, and look back at Skid Row and say, "Anyway, I want to be. I'm staying in a Y."
That's right. That's right. And paying let me tell you, paying $75 a week back that time, bro, that was a lot of money.
When you were making $2-3 an hour.
That's right. $3, maybe $4 an hour. Absolutely. That's right.
So our more than what we all telling you guys, y'all got to get out there and get on there and do what y'all need to do.
And you might suffer. You might suffer.
Absolutely.
And that's okay. Enjoy the journey, because I did things that I enjoyed. Because when I stayed at the Y, I played basketball. They had the gym downstairs where I stayed. They had a swimming pool. They had all those things, and they had a cafeteria right there. So there you go. So what I'm saying is I enjoyed
the YMCA had its bad stuff, but it also had a lot of good stuff.
It had a whole lot of bad stuff. I didn't want to talk about that.
You got one room that you belong to.
Don't be bothering me and knocking on my door.
They got to share a bathroom.
I know. Across the hall.
But at least you can play something. You go out there, play some basketball. You got a place to eat at.
That's right.
Got other little stuff down that you can deal with. So there's some good. You can always find some good in everything.
You find the good in everything and do things that make you happy, because that's the bottom line. Maybe you don't like basketball. Maybe you might like pool, so you go play pool, or maybe you might like swimming, or maybe you like to go to the library. Right down the street, I'll just get on the bus and I'm right at one of the biggest libraries in the whole world, and I did that a lot. So the point is, you got to do things that you love, what you enjoy, what makes you happy and content, and keep moving and keep moving and looking for progress.
And they got the Magnificent Mile not too far away. They got Lake Shore. They got Lake Michigan sitting out there. That's a beautiful
Michigan Boulevard, man. I walked that bad fella many times. I love that street.
Man, shoot, there's all kind of beautiful things to do downtown, and then go back to your place, where you live at. You always got something to do there. But those are things that we know about. So where your nephew is at, he probably down there in some place. We'll talk about it in South Florida,
and I'm pretty sure
there's a lot of things that he can do down there and stuff and everything. But if you're gonna go and stay with your folks and everything, you got to
make it temporary.
You got to make it temporary, and you contribute. So hey, man, here. Here's $20, $50, whatever I can afford to help, you because you helping me. If I make $100, I'm gonna give you 50. I'm gonna keep the other 50 in my pocket and everything because it's gonna help out. So they can feel better by helping you. And hey, he helping himself. And you might be able to stay there another 2 or 3 weeks or a month and stuff there and everything because you sitting out there and you making an effort to do something.
That's right. And that's the whole key. Make an effort, keep moving. In other words, don't be a user. Be a contributor.
Absolutely. And if you can't afford to give the money up, do something else. Keep your room clean. Keep your room clean.
Cut the yard.
Cut the grass. Go cut the grass. Do some painting around the house. Hey, you need some painting done around here. Whatever. Something that you can say that you are earning your keep. You can find all kinds of things to do. You know, babysit if they got children, baby, hey, I'll watch the kids and stuff while you go over here or whatever. You know, that's my responsibility. I'll be home and watch the kids and stuff, or I'll get home and cook for you. Something. Yeah.
Absolutely. That's the whole thing, you know, and then when they see you contributing, man, you know, they're gonna appreciate it because that's gonna be make their life a lot easier.
A lot easier for them by you being there. You know, even I'm lightening your load. You know, I don't have no money, but I'm gonna lighten your load. So, but most of the kids and stuff don't think like that and stuff. They don't have that initiative and stuff inside of them, and they have to get it if they want to succeed out there. And people will see that because I remember when my daughter lost her job and everything, and she went out, and me and her sister bought her a laptop so she can go to college. Well, she didn't realize the advantages and stuff of doing that. When she finally went back and started working, she said went out there and started looking for her, finally got enough money built up, she's going to find her a house. And all that bad time that she had went through, the mortgage lady called in and said, what were you doing here? And she said, well, I was going to college, you know, I got all the way up until my senior year and stuff and everything before I found a job, and I kind of stopped. So the mortgage lady thought this was instead of being something negative and stuff because she lost her job, this shows her initiative, and they gave her the mortgage and everything because of her initiative, staying on top of it. You know, she's not going to give up. We're going to give her a mortgage because she went to school and she tried to better herself during a bad time.
And that's the key.
Yeah, and a lot of times the things that you do don't always pay a dividend right away, but it will down the road.
Absolutely. I totally agree to that. Well, we're almost out of time here.
Oh yeah, man. We done gone head on, man. I didn't think we were gonna make this on through here, but we here. So Mr. Harvey, I hope that come Wednesday and stuff, you're gonna mama gonna have your desk ready and tell her to buy you a lamp. So you can have some light. Say, hey, Bill, can you give me a lamp and stuff to put on my desk?
We'll see.
And I just wanted to say this there, you know, just like we talked about finding a way, those people and stuff that you've got who got your stuff going on for you, is holding you hostage, telling you got to pay all this money and everything and stuff. Find a way, man. You might be able to put you a little box outside your house and pick up a Wi-Fi from another company and everything that you got your own stuff, and it could be cheaper for you.
Yeah,
and shut them folks off. Hey, I don't need y'all stuff now, and don't even worry about it. You put your little thing right outside your house, and that thing will pick up a nice strong Wi-Fi signal. You can bring it right inside your house, and you ain't got to pay them. I think some of the companies and stuff only charge like $30 a month, and their speed is faster, even though it's on the Wi-Fi. So try them out. There's another way, and you have to find that. And I don't think I would take what they giving me if I was in that apartment where you at now. They say, hey man, cut this shit off. I'm gonna find me something else. So anyway, yeah, we about to end, my brother, and I don't know what to say. We never welcomed the folks and stuff.
I knew it.
I started the broadcast.
I thought about that 30 minutes ago. I said, oh, well.
Yeah, we didn't. But anyway, welcome.
Who are these people?
Welcome at the end.
Ted and Ed, Money Connections TV show. And we just really appreciate people that tune in, or if you see the video later on. we ask for your support and continue to listen to us, and if you got any input, send us the information. And, because we're always looking to improve, get better, and do the things conversations that people want to talk about or listen to. And if you want to be involved or get involved, send us an email.
Absolutely. We're here. And like we said, we ain't giving up. We ain't going to stop no matter what. And if we don't have but 10 people that stuff listen to it, we're going to continue on to talk because there's some valuable that's going to come out of this telecast. And we know it. We may not talk about anything basically that have to do with money, but eventually it deals in money.
Oh, yeah.
It's connected to money. That's why we call it the money connection. So anyway, we done, Ted?
We're done.
Okay, man. Bye-bye, people.
Hey baby, what you trying to do? Spent the night just trying to find you. You the hottest one under the sun, and I'm under your spell. We stuck just like glue. You ain't got the free crib, oh well. You and me can head to the hotel. Whatever we do, just don't tell. I don't need anybody all on my coattail. I feel your energy and I ain't trying to fight it. Your vibe is way too exciting. I know I'm who you want to ride with. Don't fake it, I know that you like it.
It's more than just emotions. I get more emotions. All you gotta do is focus, not what you used to, but you like it. But you like it. Ooh, yeah. I've been out here looking for you. You're something special, man.
Get up on my roller coaster, get inside my aeroplane. I can take you places, baby.